let's go to the pound for pound conversation. I remember Bill Caton and I remember Bert Sugar sitting around the table discussing the pound for pound. So they had Henry Armstrong, they had Muhammad Ali, and they had Sugar Ray Robertson. Would you concur with obviously? Would you concur with that assessment, or would you put anyone else in there?
Well, I like to break it up a little further. There are a couple of categories which are very key, and that is pound for pound is one. Then there is most famous fighter of all time. Then most beloved fighter of all time. And then most exciting fighter of all time. Those are the four. The pound for pound, since you brought it up first, I would put Duran and maybe Sugar Ray Leonard right up there with Robinson as pound for pound. For most famous fighter of all time, I'd have to go with Ali, because I think there'd be very few guys more famous. Most beloved is Joe Louis, because as much as people like Ali now, they forget that during the war era he was hated and despised because of his stance against the Vietnam War. Even though he was vindicated, he was hated. And, so Louis fighting for his country and giving his money up for the army during World War II, I think he's more beloved. Most exciting, that's a tough one, but I make it a toss-up between like Tyson, and there was a fighter in the 60s who was absolutely phenomenal named Fighting Harada, Masahiko fighting Harada from Japan, and Aaron Pryor, when Aaron was really coming out bombing.
Wow.
So those four groups I would split up. Pound for pound is key, but Duran may not have been the most exciting fighter of all time. He definitely is not the most famous, and he's definitely not the most beloved. Even in the Latino audience, I think the edge might go to Chavez, for that whole era. So, but pound for pound, I like Duran for pound.